All right, hey everybody, I'm a social and relationship coach. My name's Anthony Recenello, and today I am talking to a very special person. His name is John. What's up, John? How you doing, man?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So what time is it over there for you?
It's
It's like almost 4.
yeah, no, it's four after three.
Oh, 4 after 3. Got it. Cool. So the way that we connected was on Tuesday. I made a video about red pill, yada yada. You commented. I responded back, and I just said, "Give me a DM. Let's chat." And I've just been wanting to chat with somebody that's into red pill stuff for a while now, but I just never got to it until now. And I think, it's a good time. And you seem like a thoughtful person that has a lot of stuff to say and that is intellectual and mature. And so I thought it would be a fun talk. Um, now, before we get into the conversation, you sent me some DMs, and I thought that would be a good place to start. So I'd love to just dive into that first. So first, you said, "Hi, I commented on your video titled The End of Red Pill, Beta's number 47, using one of my pseudonyms, regarding your take on the manosphere content, and in particular your choice to focus on sources like Mune Cat's very cringy anti-manosphere video, as well as Andrew over the top fake macho man tape, rather than the addressing arguments of someone like Alexander Grace, who's one of my personal favorites among YouTubers and in the manosphere." Yeah, I heard about Alexander Grace years ago, so I'd love to get back into his stuff and see what he's all about. I'll do like I guess a video on that one time in the future. To give you an idea of where I'm coming from, you wrote a 3-part essay a year ago with an overview of your love life. You said you're the kind of person who, when in a romantic relationship with a woman, typically goes all in and tries to connect with my partner as deeply as possible at an intellectual and emotional level. Sounds great. After 7 relationships, dang, ranging from 1 month to 10 years, dang, I realized that my approach to relationships just doesn't work and has a tendency to turn off the women who initially were attracted to me. It's only by exploring the manosphere content, and in particular Black Pillar, MGTOW, YouTube channels like Alexander Grace, Wheat Waffle, Sandman Teller, all that, to make sense of how my relationships turned toxic and what role I played in this. And I'm now looking for how to apply my newfound understanding of these patterns when interacting with eligible single women in the future, and or with any future girlfriends I may have. One of the most important things I've learned so far is that women are turned off by men showing emotions, and that opening up to a woman emotionally is the fastest way to the friend zone. If a man shows too much enthusiasm, a woman, I love how clearly you write. It's great. If a man shows too much enthusiasm, a woman perceives him as too childlike. Um, if a man shows too much anger, it's aggressiveness. If a man shows too much sadness, it's weakness. Women crave for a man who is in control of his own emotions and who at least maintains the veneer of being in control of whatever situation he's in. In the eyes of a woman, the ideal man is a stoic, a man who could face any adversity as dispassionately as possible, showing as little weakness and as little of his boyish manners as possible in her presence. In my experience, women tend to friend zone good guys because of good guys show too much emotion, and they tend to be sexually attracted to bad boys because this type of man is emotionally unavailable, which at the subconscious level confuse with a stoic attitude. There's validity to that stuff. Okay, so I see now how in every relationship my opening up to my girlfriend, exposing her to my deepest fears and insecurities, pretty much turned her off from me, resulting in her gradually losing interest in me, pretty much friend zoning me, even though we were technically still a couple, only to end our relationship the moment she found someone better. I'm sorry about that, buddy. I can't stress how important this realization is for me, both in that was a motorcycle, both in evaluating my previous relationships and in assessing my attitude to any potential new girlfriends, and how Black Pill and MGTOW channels on YouTube have been the only place where I was able to find the info I need to come to this realization. I'd gladly discuss this further and chat in another live format with you. So great. Thanks so much for writing that. And I appreciate you getting vulnerable with me, a man who likes vulnerability. So what I'd love to know first, just my first question that pops up in my head, John, is have you been now using Black Pill and men going their own way stuff with women successfully?
Um, well, yes and no. So, but as a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, I'm not sure exactly when, I went to a barbecue with a friend of mine, where I just ended up having a random conversation with a woman who was, yeah, pretty much my type.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I really was, well, first of all, I wasn't really that interested because she seemed like 20 years old or something, 25.
20,
Then I
25
heard
years older.
she's no, she seemed like 20 to 25 years old. She seemed very young.
Oh, okay. And how old are
But all
you?
of a sudden she said, "Yeah, but I'm 20, I'm 35." I'm like,
Oh, okay.
what? So all of a sudden I was, So, started looking at her a bit differently, and I started realizing that, it's interesting. So anyway, like 1 week or so later, she organized an event like book reading. Some guy like did a lecture about a book, blah blah, and there was a talk with some people afterwards, and then we went for a drink afterwards. And initially I was considering, asking her out on a date or something, but I was still a bit too shy for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, I had her on Facebook at that time. So I figured, I just contact her via chat to say, do you want to go for a drink, for something to eat, whatever. Then her response was, let's say, um, yeah, her response was that she didn't have the right vibe or something. I don't know how she said it. So it sounded, the way she wrote it sounded like, okay, you're not my type. So I said, okay, no, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was worth trying. Just let it go. Then, like 1 hour and a half later, she started randomly chatting to me with me like for half an hour or something. And that was the last time I had contact with her. Then, like a week ago, a guy was at the barbecue. He said, maybe we should do cocktails again, and yeah, no, maybe we should invite this woman as well. But, interesting. So eventually we decided to do some like carnival quiz together, which they had already planned to do with two of them, and um, yeah, and strangely, I felt a very different. I, I I felt that we connected in a way that we didn't connect before.
Mm.
That there was this, let's say, the first time at the barbecue, she felt, yeah, really not interested in a sense. She wasn't
Yeah.
really engaged in interacting. She was more focused on talking with the other guy, and she interacted with me, but she showed not really interested. The second time I met her, when we went for a drink, felt, vibe was sort of neutral. It was a comfortable conversation, but I don't know, just comfortable. And today, like, she seemed like really. When there was something different in her, and the way she looked at me, different in the way
Mm.
she talked to me.
Mm.
And I think one thing that I was like really strict at, in types of in terms of my interaction to her
Mm-hmm.
was, um well, one principle of that you see a lot in the whole manosphere. Well, I prefer to use the term manosphere, by the way, instead of red
Sure.
pill,
Yeah.
because the term red pill has different meanings for different people.
Yeah, that's true.
The way I have seen, or the common interpretation that I see these days is, you have red pill, black pill, and MGTOW, where red pill basically means you focus on game, or the principle in the no sorry the principle in the red pill community is that the key to gaining female interest is game, which I don't agree with.
Oh,
The
interesting.
black the focus on the black pill community is more like the key to gaining female interest is your looks.
Got it.
And basically what it means is, the better looking you are, the less relevant game is, or the less relevant basically any social mistakes you make. But it means that if you look like, whatever, Brad Pitt, or the dude who plays Superman, that type of dude, he can be as socially clumsy as he wants. Women will just be all over him anyway. While the less attractive you are as a man, the less you can afford being socially clumsy, and the more you need to, let's say, use strategies to gain female attention. So and this in this sense, there's a big difference between blue red pill and black pill. Black pill is purely about game. And what I think a big issue also with that I have with red pill is because it's so focused on game. There's a lot of grifters there who's just really all about selling their
Yeah.
couple $100
Yeah.
or couple $1,000 courses on how
Mm-hmm.
to whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's bullshit. So I
Yeah.
really don't like that scene.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Um, but I like the
Because
black
you
pill
found
scene.
their advice to be not working for you.
It's just not even. I don't. I'm. Not, it's not even about their advice.
Uh-huh.
I don't agree with the principle. I think it's. Yeah. I have noticed that when the more, well, how should I say? Um, you have this. It's like it's hard to describe it. I think if there is a basic attraction, as a man, there's very little you can do wrong. If there is very little basic attraction, you can make women get attracted to you, but you have to, like, every little thing you do, every tiny mistake you make can basically make her completely go 180 on you
Mm.
and lose interest or friend zone or you or whatever. So you need to have this. The more you have this basic attraction to start with, the less effort you have to do to basically get her interested in dating or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So and I think that matches my personal observations
Yeah.
with myself and other people I've seen. So that's why I think that they are yeah, they are really useful to a lot of men. And then you also have the MGTOW, which is basically men going their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And which basically men that have just given up on dating because it's too frustrating. And I think there's some good content there. Personally, um, Sandman is one of the best known MGTOW um, content producers. I like his non-scripted content. I don't like his scripted content.
Got it.
And my experience with scripted content is very repetitive.
Mm.
I hate his whatever thing he does with his voice. But if you actually listen to him having a non-scripted interaction, or just kind of engagement we are having now, actually sounds like a decent,
Mm.
down-to-earth guy
Yeah.
and he reminds me a lot of myself. I
Mm.
mean, if he talks about his experiences with women, that's like, yeah, that's
What's his name
basically my
again?
experience. Sandman. So,
Sandman. All
Sand,
right.
yeah, he's one of the bigger MGTOW channels. He claims to have not had a relationship in 6 years and done this, chosen this path intentionally because he's like me. He tends to go all on in a relationship. He tends to go like, once he's infatuated with a woman, he's completely, yeah, he wants to know every aspect of her. He shares himself with her and he wants to get to know her. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's very dangerous.
Okay. All right.
Hi,
Let
everyone.
So,
me.
but that's my
Sandman
natural
here.
style. So one thing I've learned, to go back to my
Yeah.
current situation. So one thing I've learned is to now, at least in this stage, keep my distance and let the tension build on her side first. She basically told me, okay, I don't have this vibe with you, so I don't feel comfortable, going out of that or just drinking the two of you. Okay. So at that point I said, okay, I take my distance. If you want to contact me, fine, but I just took my distance, and just was very active on Facebook last couple of weeks. I've noted her some likes every now and then, but I, the feeling that I have is that she has been, ever since she noticed that I was interested in getting to know her better, interested in getting to date her. that she was kind of trying to, follow up on the content I was posted on Facebook, trying to figure out, and that she was starting to get curious. And now that she met me again, yeah, I, there's this, yeah, this curiosity, this. I noticed that with my longest relationship, the moment that I met, she had a very similar. There was a very similar chemistry at the beginning. So which for me is a very good sign. But and that's the thing is that in the past I would have it would have been a lot more difficult for me to take this distance, to just let her develop curiosity towards me naturally. I would have made more of an effort to, to get to see her, to engage with her. While now I basically try to find a way to get her to
Yeah.
yeah, to chase me,
Yeah.
to roughly
Yeah,
say,
that
you
makes
know.
sense.
So,
Okay. So we covered a lot. I I'm really I'm genuinely interested in all this stuff, so I'm going to slowly walk through everything you said or parts of what you said that I find interesting. Um, but to summarize, Red Pill focuses more on social skills with women. Um, is that correct?
I wouldn't even say it's social skills. It's more strategy. The whole point of
Strategy.
so the red pill is all about. I noticed. Basically, by the way, just prior to this interaction, I watched about half an hour to an hour of your review of Rollo Tomasi's book,
Yeah.
which is indeed a horrible book.
Oh,
Uh,
good. I'm glad you agree.
so and yeah, I noticed you pointing out this use of the word game. Well, it is a word that's used a lot in the
Mm,
manosphere,
mm.
and basically, as I understand, the concept of game is basically um women tend, how should I say? One thing I've noted in okay, sorry, I
It's all right. It's
let
all right.
me go to the start first. So
No worries.
I
It
think
is a
maybe
good start.
it's important for you to understand this. One thing I've noticed I have seen your content in the past long ago.
Oh,
So reason why I wanted to see your video today is to again get some familiarity with your point of view and with your
yeah.
content, your style.
Yeah, me too.
And one thing I noticed with you is that you're like you're like a very emotion driven person, like someone who is like feeling first, goes who follows his guts, who follows his instincts, who's driven by yeah, whatever is intuition, his instincts, and thing is, I don't have that in me like naturally. I would say like when I was a little kid, I would say I have a my personality type. I don't know if you're familiar with the MBTI
Yeah, I would
personality
assume that
type.
you're an introverted thinker at the top of your personality.
I'm an INTP.
Yeah, INTP is introverted thinker, extroverted, intuitive.
So introverted, intuitive, thinking, perceiving.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So and what that amounts to is that I'm basically, like when I was a kid, I was like a little Spock, or a little Sheldon Cooper. That
Yes.
was more or less my. So
Mm-hmm.
I had I was very reason driven, but I had
Yes.
very little sensitivity for like human interaction.
Yes.
My mother once told me a while ago. I only learned it like a couple of years ago. Um, then when I was my first day in kindergarten, so I was like standing in the corner alone, like with my stuffed bear, just observing the other kids.
Yes.
And I did that like for one day, couple of days, and my mother told me that the teacher at some point said, like, should we do something about it?
Mm-hmm.
Should we get force him to engage with the kids, or we just? My mom said, okay, just let him be, just
Mm-hmm.
figure it out
Mm.
eventually. And apparently, took me I think 2 or 3 days just observing the other kids, And apparently at that moment, I had like, okay, now I figured it out, and I managed to engage with the other kids, and then just acted like a normal kid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the way I interpret it as an adult is that I have no siblings, so
Mhm. Yeah.
it's probably one of the reasons as well. I had to observe how normal kids behave to figure out, okay, this is how a normal kid behaves. Okay, this is how I should behave as well.
Yeah.
And that's something I've had to do ever since, for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So human interactions with humans is something that I had to learn from experience, trial and error, and reading a lot, observing a lot, and so my understand I feel like I've grown a lot of understanding of human nature, both female nature, masculine nature, the different personality types as well. But it has taken like years, decades of trial and error and research to really grasp this, and it's still something that doesn't I need to focus on it. It's something that I really need to be
Mhm. Yeah.
observe,
Yeah.
yeah, consciously. I don't pick it up subconsciously most of the time.
Mm.
So that's where I'm coming from, and that's one I think one reason that some men are drawn to what I would call manosphere content, while you are more turned off by it,
Mhm.
is that for you're the kind of person for who the whole human interaction comes naturally. For you is basically, you just talk to a woman, and if it works well, it works well. If it doesn't work, yeah, whatever. Yeah, just talk to the next, and it's come natural to you. For a lot of men, including myself, it doesn't.
Mm.
We have to figure out, okay, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Okay, and this can take years to recognize some
Mm.
errors you made like I mean, there's one moment I was 19 years old, I think. That I had this crush on this yeah, like metal chick. Um, just right after my girlfriend had broken up with me. There was a New Year's Eve. Me and this chick and a couple of other mutual friends met at this metal bar, and I remember that at some point she kind of gave me a lap dance in the middle of the pub. We went, like uh, um, um, around midnight. We went for a walk. Went to an old cemetery. Crawled over the fence. Went to sit on a tombstone, watching the fireworks from the tombstone. Still one of the most memorable nights of
Yeah, it
my
sounds
life.
nice.
Then like I met her like so after that we went back to the pub. I don't remember any other details from that night. I remember that I think I saw her once a couple of weeks later, and after that at some point she told me like, okay, yeah, she wasn't interested anymore, and I was like, why? What did I do wrong? And she's like, yeah, you're just too much of a nice guy. And
Yeah.
like years later, like I probably should have made a move when we were at the gravestone.
Yeah.
Like, but I was, like I was had such a crush on her, and I was very
Yeah.
shy and
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
insecure, and I was just enjoying the moment. I didn't need more
Yeah.
than that,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
but but it took me years to realize, okay, that's what she meant. Fuck. But and that's and that happens frequently, and that's one thing I also had like a couple of weeks ago. So I had this binge when I started watching a lot of black pill content, MGTOW content, and every now and then like I saw for example a TikTok of a woman describing her relationship with her ex and how that ended, and it was like hearing my own ex talk about our relationship. It's like,
Mm.
what the fuck, and then you start seeing patterns like, okay, this couple had almost the exact same experience. Why did they have only the exact same experience? And then you try to listen to how she described it, then you try to listen to how someone else describes it, and you start
Yeah.
things
You start
falling.
seeing things that are matching up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
And with regards, for example, for the whole the whole yeah, the whole stoic thing, for example, it's something that I still have difficulties like really figuring out how to implement that in practice. Because for me, yeah, like I said, I'm an all-in kind of person in my relationship. When so Valerie, that was the woman I've been with for 10 years.
Yeah.
Our first date, we talked like for 7 hours straight. We at some point we had a period where we started taking all sorts of, let's say, chemical substances to alter
Yeah.
our
Nice.
perception. There was like one substance that made me like super empathic.
Mm.
That and so which was quite odd. In my
Mm.
mind, I said the exact same thing as I would say normally,
Yeah. Yeah.
but normally she it would come off as very socially awkward or
Mm.
like not appropriate. But when I had taken that exact substance, it came off as like completely appropriate and completely acceptable. It's like
Mm.
really really weird.
Yeah.
So I at some point I started taking that for job application and stuff like that.
Nice.
But we started like we really used our own brains, like we chemically alter our own brains as a sort of uh, lab experiments almost. She had a PhD level bioengineer, so she was a very
Nice.
very intelligent,
That's
very
great.
rational woman, and she had like this gift of like explaining the most irrational parts of her own mind in a way that I could grasp it.
Mm.
So I don't know any other woman who's been capable of doing that. So like she knew that some parts of her own thinking were like really irrational. She but somehow she had the capability of like using metaphors or translating it
Yeah.
to things that were normal for my perception, we would understand each other. And so we had conversations about how we used language differently, how we perceived things differently, how we experienced emotions differently. We had hours long conversations, both sober, under LSD, under MDMA, under pretty much
Nice.
anything. So like that's the most mind melt that you can have with a person,
Yeah.
and that relation ended with us being unable to talk with each other unless unless we were high. That's how our
Mm.
relationship ended.
Wow.
We were unable to communicate when sober anymore. We
Interesting.
like we so she was, yeah, I don't know. And after the breakup, this like, yeah, we had stuff to, we bought a house together. I had a gigantic library in the house that I didn't have room for. I had to
Yeah.
get out of there, so there was like a whole mess of separating our stuff and finding a new place for my stuff. And then she ended up in a lesbian relationship with someone that I've known for 20 years and had introduced to her, who had also been the ex of another ex of mine.
Mm.
So so yeah, I've different.
I like that you could laugh about it, John.
Yeah, but I love, like, people always say, like, I should write a book or like do some
Yeah.
sitcom or a drama about it.
I'll read.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can say that I so my longest relationship has been with a woman who's been so it's now with my, basically it was my oldest friend at the time. So my the second longest relationship, that woman has been with this same friend,
Mm-hmm.
and this friend as well. She, even though she's technically lesbian, I had like one night stand with her, like, when I was 20 or something. So like this like a love triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Damn. Damn. Okay. All right. So I
But also means just to say, I have spent a lot of time among women. You know, there was a
mhm,
period when like these people, though most the people I spent most time with was my girlfriend, was then her current girlfriend, and the other ex-girlfriend. Those were like some of the people who I spent most of the time with, and it is what I learn in from manosphere content. I do recognize a lot in what I've observed from my direct experience with these women, and or from the things they explicitly said. For
mhm,
example, the whole thing about um, the whole thing about dominance and men wanting to be in control. My I'm like very relaxed person. I'm just laissez-faire type. But
yeah,
I just want to have a very as little stuff on my mind. I want to focus ideally on one thing at a time, either on my work or on my
yeah,
renovations here at the
yeah,
moment or whatever. But I'm very one track minded, and I don't want to be focusing on many different things at the same time. And my ex girlfriend, she was like, she's this control. She has had the opposite personality type.
mm,
She was an ESFJ.
okay,
So she was like this she worked as a project manager for a while, so she currently teaches at a university, so she is this, yeah, bit of a control freak.
got it.
But at the same time, she wanted me to be as much a control freak as her, even though I had an opposite personality type, which has a very different approach to life.
Yeah,
And for 10 years she regretted that I didn't walk alongside her, as taking control the same way she did,
yeah,
which I don't think is fair because that's just not my personality, that's just not
yeah,
my
yeah,
style. But
exactly.
she felt that, yeah, she perceived me as less mature, as less manly,
Yeah,
because I didn't in her opinion, take control. So that's one thing that if I then learn about manosphere content, where they all say man has to be dominant, a man has to be in
mhm,
charge, a man has to be in control.
yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what I've seen in that relationship. My second longest relationship, I was with her for 6 years, the exact same dynamic. So she was even more bossy. She's like, even after we broke apart, when we were like friends, she still basically tried to mother me. I mean,
mm,
this yeah, she mothered me more than my mother ever did.
mm,
So and that's a tendency that I've seen with several of my exes.
mm,
They felt like, because I was too relaxed in my approach to life, too laissez-faire, that that and they were control freaks. They felt that I wasn't man enough, that I was too immature because I didn't, step up to walk alongside and take the same approach, take the same amount of responsibility or whatever, which which yeah, it's ridiculous in my opinion. But
mm.
but
Okay, can you
I
tell
did.
me? Wait, hold on. Tell me, what did they want you to step up to do?
Well, they weren't really. It was always very vague. So because in practice, yeah, if I look at like for example Valerie, so my longest relationship, she had a neuromuscular disorder, which caused her to be in a wheelchair, which meant that we had to hire someone to clean.
Yeah,
She initially did most of the cooking. After a while, she only cooked occasionally. So what did she do? Mostly the whole paying the bills and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
The communication with when we did our renovation with all the contractors and stuff. So she did basically paperwork, and project management.
Got it. But what
which
again?
was
What
one
were
of her core skills. So I think that's logical for her to pick up those roles because that's what she does for a job. That's what she likes to kind of likes to do.
yeah?
So that's she
But
feels
yes, but
yeah
what about you? Were you
yeah. Well,
missing?
I I don't really know because for me, in my opinion, that was all she did was you know
No, I'm
like
saying, what did she say to you that you didn't step up? What was it?
she felt like I should be as much a project manager as her,
In
but at the
terms of
same
what?
time,
Like what specifically?
yeah. For example, we bought a house, we renovated a house, and I did the 3D model of the home.
Nice.
I did we did a Pinterest with mood boards and we even picked the colors for the flowers and the plants based on a very specific color scheme. So I mean, we really went. I spent a lot of
Nice.
time in the whole designs part. We did like home automation stuff.
Hmm.
I invested a lot of time looking for the right electrician.
Yeah, but what were you not
But
doing?
yeah, well, in her opinion, from her perspective, the way she saw it was she was managing the project and delegating tasks to me based on what I was good at or what I like to do. And she felt like she shouldn't have to delegate it to me. I should be uh, yeah managing the project the same as her. I should basically it should be a co-op type of project management, which again makes no sense to me because
And that's why you broke up.
any that's one of the main issues. Yeah, if there was, I think the drop that finally caused the relationship to break was that after 9 years, she eventually decided that she didn't want to have any kids, which was a big issue for me because I've wanted to have kids for quite
Yeah.
a while. For 9 years, she was like, on the fence, yes, no, I'm afraid, maybe, whatever. So then at some point, she said, yes, I want to try kids, look for it. But then it was because of her neuromuscular condition, she was afraid.
Yeah.
And we looked for like a carrying mother or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was too difficult in our country to legally figure out. So she at some point she said, I just don't want any kids. Too much of a hassle. I'm too afraid, but no kids. And for her, I think that was like the last drop. Like, we want different things. We have a different approach to life. We have different tastes. And that was just the last drop. But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, but John,
she could.
this does not seem like anything to do with the manosphere. It seems like difference in wants in a relationship. Like she wanted kids, and then you didn't want kids.
Sure.
It was a difficult situation, and then she finally just said,
But one
"Forget this
one
whole
thing
thing."
I've learned, one thing I've learned in that relationship, in so the other relationship, and what I've also learned in the period after the breakup, because yeah, my breakup with that with Valerie was yeah was very intense because at that time I was still moving out. Then her new girlfriend already moved in while I was still moving out. So at
Mm.
some point we were living three people together with barely any possibility of communicating.
Mm-hmm.
So that was yeah. At the same time, my father was terminally ill while I was moving in with my parents. That was nightmare fuel. So after that, one thing I've also noticed is that um, at some point, I was like major depression. It was also a very traumatic experience. I was going like rock bottom emotionally, and
Got it.
I noticed at that point that the more I looked for someone to connect with or someone to at least comfort,
Yeah.
offer comfort or whatever. And I mean, yeah, people just lost respect,
Mm-hmm.
had no respect for
Yeah.
me because I was too, whiny,
Yeah.
people had like, okay, it happened, let go, just, that's life, whatever. People just had no respect for me that I was
Yeah.
basically crushed and I didn't know what to do with my life,
Mm.
didn't know what to do with my emotions.
Yeah.
yeah, like you have to. I had like the perfect home. I had, in my opinion, I was my girlfriend and I were going to stay with each other the rest of our lives. I felt like we had some special connection. Maybe it was an illusion. Maybe I
Yeah.
was just fooling myself. Whatever. That was how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it was like at the same time I had a burnout also as well. So I lost my job. I lost my relationship. I
Yeah.
lost everything at the same time. Friendships collapsed. And
Yeah.
yeah, when I was trying to find people, to tell me, is it normal? It's normal to feel like that. Tell me it's normal to think it's not okay that my ex girlfriend and her new girlfriend are having sex while still in the same home. I can hear them. You know, I don't think that's respectful. I don't think that's okay.
No, not
But
at all.
I should just get over it. That's basically what. And yeah, I I felt the more was looking for people to yeah to tell me that it was okay to feel like that,
Mm-hmm.
the more I felt like I was pushing people away and people were
Yeah.
losing respect for me,
Yeah.
both men and women.
Okay, got it. Okay,
And
so there's a lot of context here. So you you fell into a dark depression, it sounds like,
mhm.
and became, negative about your life because things were, you lost your job like you said, and you said that like you were talking about the depression a lot as well. Is that right?
Well, it doesn't. It's not even a lot. I mean, it
Yeah.
just. I noticed that when I go too dark or too, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, too whiny in their opinion,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
too, I have a certain vibe of like sadness that people like they shut off. It's like
Yeah.
they don't want to hear it.
Yes.
They yeah, you lose them and they
Yeah.
lose respect for you. They just I don't know what I can't explain it, but I felt
Oh,
like
I get it.
I
Yeah.
was not allowed to show that emotion. I was supposed to keep
Yeah.
that emotion inside.
Yes. I understand. John, what do you feel is the purpose of a relationship?
Hmm. Well, that's something I'm still at the moment trying to figure out, and which today only made even more complicated because,
Hmm.
well, you know, because I have this for me this worry that I should be careful with showing any emotion, the positive
Yeah.
and the negative, because I also notice that I can be very passionate about my hobbies.
Yeah.
My book collection, my I like also this Chinese fake Lego. Those are like my two main hobbies. Whenever like I talk about it,
Yeah.
people can see like I'm like a kid in a candy store,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That's the end. That's the extroverted intuitive in you.
probably.
No, okay. So
And
wait, hold on. Let's get on track here. So, I'm loving learning about you.
I just want to finish my thoughts.
Okay,
I think that's
okay, go
important.
for it.
So where I was going to is that I noticed that a lot of people, because like I said, I feel like a kid in a candy store, and I noticed that a lot of people see that as a very childlike state, and they may think it's endearing, they may think it's cute, but women usually don't think it's sexy.
Yeah.
Um, but today I was like, I was in at some point moments rather spontaneous. I was showing a bit of my passionate
Yeah.
sides, and she did so the
Hmm.
woman I was with today, she did respond
Yeah.
positively, which I find very confusing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also, I could validate that for you too. I am constantly showing all of my passions. I'm very childish. I'm very emotional. And that's like one of the number one things that women love about me. So, right there, you want to, make sure that when you're learning something and somebody gives you an absolute, like, women don't like this, you have to make sure that that means absolutely across all areas, always, never not that. And that's very much how I live my life. I like to go, oh, you told me that, so that means in every single circumstance that applies. And if it doesn't apply, that means there's something wrong with what they said, and I have to investigate it. In terms of that, yeah, I don't believe that to be true. The same thing with emotional vulnerability. All my life, I've been very emotionally vulnerable. In fact, there's times where I have dated women where they've told me they want me to be more emotionally. Hold on, siren. They want me to be more emotionally vulnerable because I don't get vulnerable enough. And then when I do get more vulnerable, they're very happy with it. So there's, that's out too. We can't say, unless they have an excuse, we're going, oh, well, that just means that you're good looking and these people are much better looking than me. So that just can't apply. And so a big reason why red pill doesn't work with me, or black pill, or men going their own ways, because I have had thousands and thousands of experiences. And when I read what they say, I go, well, that's weird, because I've experienced all of those things and I've had a positive result. So it must not be that. It must be something else. But John, I can agree with you that, and I can say that, like, yeah, I will say, if you are not a happy person or a purposeful person or a healthy person, people won't be as attracted to you. So in my book, there's only really 3 things that are mainly the cause of attraction, confidence, and happiness. That's presence, purpose, and health. Or presence is just another way of saying happy. If I was depressed, if I lacked purpose, and I wasn't healthy, I would accept if somebody wanted to leave me. Personally, would you enjoy or want to date somebody that's not healthy, happy, or purposeful in their life?
Okay, I get your point, and thing is, if I go back to my previous relationships, um, I have been a very purposeful person. I mean,
Yeah.
when I met Valerie, I was working on
Yeah.
trying to build up a career. I was investing a lot of time, doing open source software,
Yeah.
trying to build up a portfolio. I actually created some open source software eventually
That's
that
so great.
has some users in Japan, some in China, some in
Nice,
Brazil.
dude.
So that's not many, and
Yeah.
it's probably maybe a
Yeah.
few dozen or some total, but I have
Yeah.
users across the world, and that's
she got into a relationship with you.
yeah. But the thing is, I was purposeful. I was what was the word? Healthy
Healthy and
and
happy.
and well, I was kind of happy. I
Yeah.
mean, happy is relative, of course,
And
but
she got into a
I was
relationship with you. But when you
yeah.
lost those
But
things,
I lost those things because yeah, because I couldn't. I guess I didn't fit into her stereotypical perception of what a man should be. That's how I think one of the main issues that we.
okay.
Well,
Did
and the
she
most
say that
important
to
issue.
you? Did she say you don't fit the stereotypical version of what a man should be? Or did red pill stuff
Not,
say that? Manosphere stuff say that?
no, that's more or less how she did. She didn't say it like that, but
Okay.
that's how she described it.
Okay.
She like I said, that's the whole thing. Like I should take control. I should be in charge. I should
Yes.
do this. I should
Yes.
do. But she had this vision. This is what I want in a husband. This
Yeah.
is what I want in a father. This is what I want in a boyfriend. And
Yeah.
that's also one thing several girlfriends pointed out is like the person you are is not the person I want
Yeah.
to be the mother of his children for.
Yeah.
This I don't see a father in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they felt like I didn't have the traits that they felt they needed in a father.
Well,
So
John,
that's what they literally said that to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, John, she was in a relationship with you for 10 years, and it's likely that she became attracted to you because you were from what I'm hearing, because you had these things, it sounds like when you lost those things is when she left. And when it says taking, taking control, to me that doesn't mean like take control, like push people out of the way, take what you want. It sounds like when you fell into a depression, you lost control of your life, of direction, and goals. And first of all, I want to say that's okay. It is okay. And like your friend said, that's okay. However, it's important, I believe, first of all, to communicate with your girlfriend, with your partner, to say, like, listen, I'm going through this right now, but I'm going to get back on top. If you can work with me and help me get back on top, I will get back there. But if that conversation didn't happen and you remained in a depressed state where you weren't purposeful, where you weren't happy, well, and she's not hearing any side, if she's not hearing any, well, listen, Valerie, I want to get back there with you. I want to get back to where I was. If you don't say that, and she sees you actively working to get there, she's going to probably assume, well, this is how he is now, and this is how he'll likely remain. And that now longer matches with the the unspoken contract that we signed upon getting into this relationship. That's what I'm seeing.
What I was seeing in that relationship, there's one video I maybe should look for the video. I could send it to you. There was like, so there was this one woman that described and how Valerie saw our relationship. I don't have the link immediately with me, but I could send it to you. And basically she said we had a happy relationship, but there was, she felt that her husband had to step up to do something, whatever, and he didn't, and he didn't seem that it was needed or whatever. And then at some point he did step up, he did change, but then for her she had already, or that was I think even the trigger for her to move. And I see a very, very similar pattern with Valerie. Like the first 5 years I was focusing very hard on my career. I was, my career was my main priority. I wanted to be a good provider, I wanted to have a stable career. So, and then and in function of having a healthy relationship, she felt neglected because I spent so much time on my work. And at some point after 5 years, she basically kicked me out of her apartment for a while. And then I talked with a friend and like for reevaluated my priorities, and eventually said, okay, you know what, I lower my career as a priority. I'll put more emphasis on you. I put more emphasis on the relationship and other things. And that's when for me things started going wrong. But that's when I started losing control of myself, of my life. And eventually 5 years later she would break up with me. And I completely lost myself.
I understand. And by the way, again, I'm sorry about this, buddy. It sounds like this was a lot of time you put into a relationship, 10 years, and to have it end like that sucks. And and to not have anybody to be there for you enough to help you and know how to help you navigate depression is very hard. And depression is a very shitty thing. I have friends that have it, and it's horrible.
Yeah, and after that, like this other ex who's then my friend, she was like trying to shape me into how she felt that I should recover from everything, because in her opinion she had gone through something similar. So, and she felt like because this worked for her, I had to do the same thing. And whenever I didn't do what she felt like I should do, she got pissed off at me. So that was another conflict that lasted for 1 year to 2 years. Eventually she completely broke off her friendship. I still don't know why. And then also, and I think another important detail is that there was one woman I had gotten to know in the year following the breakup, she had basically become my best friend at the time. Friendship became closer and closer and closer. She had effectively friend zoned me, but at some point she started getting a bit flirty with me when we were watching movie together, like we were like sitting thigh against thigh, which for me was very uncomfortable for friends. So yeah, mixed messages much.
Yeah.
So at some point, as pointed out, like, I am starting to develop feelings for her for you. She claimed that she was fell out of the blue. Still
Mm-hmm.
not sure to believe it, but
Yeah.
whatever. Eventually we like said like maybe we should try dating. We were like together for a month, and like this was like it was just 1 month, but it's like a super intense month. She was an author, so like she was we at some point we had started writing, like both writing our own relationship diaries and sharing relationship diaries with each other. And she was going to write a book where I was one of the characters in the book, and we're going to like role play the story that she would then translate to her novel. Like, I mean, she had her whole a whole plan that we were going to go to Portugal for like a couple of weeks, and like I spent like a whole week straight, like when we were like only couple for a couple of weeks, I think. Like we were like so intensely close emotionally
Mm-hmm.
and intellectually, and at some point you're like, uh, she disconnected emotionally. I felt like something had changed in her when we woke up that morning, and then I went home, and the same evening or the day after, she told me through chat, like, I just want to go back to France. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? That was like
Mm.
week before, 2 weeks before, she was like still like daydreaming about maybe we should buy some house together with her and her
Hmm.
$2 and some whatever. and
Yeah.
and I was like, no, I want you to go back to France.
Interesting.
And it was like hitting a brick wall. And again, yeah, I was like, and then she was completely shocked that I was know how to deal with that emotionally. I mean, we go from being so super close and like sharing so much each
Yeah.
other to her completely disconnecting and just shutting off.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
So, and then she got completely turned off by my inability to handle that, because she thought like, oh, I thought you were more mature than that.
Mm.
So, and I lost her friendship as well. So,
Hmm. Damn. Um, Listen, John, I'm interested in men going their own way. Can you tell me they why they have given up and what do they do instead?
well, how I understand it, how Sandman explains it. So he his experience with women, well, what I see, for example, with lost women I've been with. So I've had Valerie broke up, then I had a very short couple of weeks that I dated with someone, but that didn't turn anything serious. And then I had, so like, Miriam, the one I just described. And I felt like, when I was with that person, and when I spent a lot of time with that person, like, I felt like I was almost immersed in a completely different culture. Also, when Miriam, I spent most time with her friends, with her daughters.
All right, hold on. I asked what does men going their own way?
Well, I'll come to that. The point was, I like, there's this emotional immersion that I felt like, my life and her life had melted together, and I lost some part of myself, and I lost or I became less emotionally stable, I guess, also,
Mm-hmm.
and less rational. Especially with Miriam, I noticed that I Miriam wasn't exactly the rational person I was used to from with Valerie. So Miriam was like, she all over the place emotionally sometimes, and she dragged me into this. She dragged me into but Alexander Grace sometimes calls it feminine chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Miriam dragged me into her feminine chaos, which for me was very disorienting and very, yeah. I didn't know how to handle that. And what I saw with, or if I see Sandman describe his experience with women, it's very very similar. So he also gets dragged into her emotional intensity, her emotional chaos, whatever, and it makes him unstable. It makes him, yeah, he loses
So,
himself.
so are you saying that men do not enjoy when women are emotionally negative?
I don't think anyone enjoys
Got it.
when their partners is emotionally
Got
negative.
it. So it's
But
just it's just for everybody.
it's not even just a negative thing, you know. I think it's just like, um, generally speaking, women do tend to be more irrational, or let's
Yeah.
say more emotional than men. Oh, there are exceptions. It does depend on personality. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I won't disagree on that. But roughly speaking, if I look at the women in my life versus the men in my life, the women, even the most rational women I know, tend to be more emotional in their
Yeah.
approach to life, tend to be more they more easily allow themselves to be taken over by emotion.
Yeah. Okay, so what does
And
men going their own way, what do they do when they go their own way? Do they don't want to be in a relationship anymore?
yeah, it's basically just giving up on the notion of, um yeah, wanting. It's a bit extreme, said, but they feel like all that, if they have too much feminine energy in their life, you know, it makes them, it makes their life more complicated,
Mm.
or more like more unstable, or
Mm.
just depressing or whatever. And you feel like, and they feel like we're just better off without all that
Yeah.
feminine energy. So
Yeah.
either they avoid women altogether, or they just, you know, only as friends, or only, you know, like from a distance.
Yeah.
So that they avoid too much of an emotional connection with women,
Yeah.
because the experience they have with women has been mostly toxic or otherwise
Got it.
negative.
So, what do they do instead of being with women?
Basically, just, you know, trying to be their own man, trying to be a master of their own
Got
lives.
it.
It's the same thing you would do if you were in a relationship, but, you know,
Yeah.
just leave that, out of leave that as a goal to acquire.
Okay.
Um,
On this Sandman Men Going Their Own Way channel, one of the recent videos 6 days ago says, "How do I manipulate women?" That doesn't sound like going their own way, does it?
yeah, again, I, I I don't really like its content in general. I think it's that is thing that sometimes it's inconsistent. I think it's, yeah, it's scripted content. It feels more like, you know, I think it's become more of a job to him. You know, he has his public to appeal, and he's just rehashing the same old content
Oh
over and
yeah.
over.
All right, let me look at the most
Which,
popular video so I could really see what Men Going Their Own Way is. Um,
yeah, again,
it
if you
just
really want to
it's a
see how
lot
he
of
thinks,
it's a
how,
lot of women videos. I thought men are going their own way, but it's all women.
yeah, it has he has again his scripted content is really weird. It's really weird. His voice is weird. His pictures are weird.
All right, I'm gonna
Things
go.
he says is weird.
I'm gonna look up another Men Going Their Own Way channel.
So, I think men going their own way. I think a channel. I think content wise, it's also rather repetitive. But I think it's interesting mostly because it focuses on, actually listening to what women say, and then you see his interpretation of it. I don't always agree with his interpretation. I do think he does tend to get biased at some occasions,
Yeah.
but on other occasion I think he's perfect. He makes perfect sense.
Okay.
The channel is Taylor the Fiend. So it is an Australian channel. So basically, most of his content is either TikToks, of women talking about their dating life.
But that
Reddit.
doesn't sound like men going their own way. It sounds just like men talking about women.
Yeah, I think the point of his channel, and that's also Sandman's channel, is to make men aware of um, what like many women are today. I think they are aware that not every woman is like the stereotype that they portray. I'm pretty sure they know that, but lots of women are. I mean, maybe not even a majority, but lots of women that are currently single on the dating market are like that. And I think Taylor Fiend shows example after example after example after example, and I think his idea is like this is what most of many of the women on the current dating market are like, and he's like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that energy. It turns me off. It drains me. I don't want that many. And he's like, he wants to warn other men, like, if you want to still date women, go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
Yeah.
But this is why I don't date women anymore. That's basically his perspective.
Who's that guy? What's his name?
Um, the channel is Taylor the Fiend. So
Wait,
Taylor the Fiend.
what? Say it again.
Taylor the Fiend. So
Got it.
Fiend.
Got it. Okay. Let's check out this guy.
So
Tyler the Fiend. I just want to check out the channel
so
because
it,
I'm
it was
really
like,
interested in this stuff.
so that particular channel was a channel that I watched. I
Mm.
at some point was binging it
Yeah.
just for, I don't know. At some point it was really um because I could recognize I could recognize a lot of details from the descriptions he gave, both in my own relationships and other people's relationships. And it felt in some way, should I say, gratifying is not the word, comforting. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
comforting in a way to see like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Other people are going through the same
Yeah.
thing, and this is a pattern that's bigger than me.
Yeah.
I think
That's what
that's
I'm
that's
seeing is that it's less on how could we go our own way and live our own lives alone, and more on relating on the pain we feel about our past
yeah.
relationships and how we feel about women.
I think that's different channels have different focus. So I'd say MGTOW content is mostly like, this is why we stop dating women, and it's partly a part of the message is warning guys who still want to date women, like, these are the traits in women you should be careful with. These are traits of toxicity in women. Avoid this type of women, avoid this type of behavior. Look for those red flags. Look for those red flags, which and often is good advice. Not
Yeah.
always, but
Yeah.
often it is good advice.
Yeah, don't look.
And
Yeah, I think that's
and,
general
and, and
behavior.
for
I
other
think that's
people,
general stuff.
again, but also it is comforting. It is comforting for people who have been through in toxic
Yeah.
relationships to just feel
Yeah.
like they're not alone. So in a way, it's like
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous for partially. Other content like so the black pilled content is more focused on um yeah, people who are still interested in dating, and I think Alexander Grace in particular, I don't think he really fits either category very well.
Yeah.
But his content is really like, he does more or less the same thing as you, but from a more cynical perspective, I would say.
Oh,
So
how
you have this
nice.
very, very optimistic, go with the flow attitude. He has this very calculated
Yeah.
strategy, like, this this behavior leads to this, and this behavior leads to that. So if you do this, and then you can, and which I think is very useful. But I think one reason why I thought it would be interesting, my initial reason to contact you was, to say like, you guys should get together. You two should have a dialogue together, because I think you're like opposites in a way. Like, he's a very
Yeah.
calculated guy wants to analyze every aspect of male behavior, female behavior, look for patterns everywhere. You're like, the go with the flow guy, kind of guy, just be yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I think, for many people, maybe the balance would be the best approach. I think
Mm-hmm.
for some people, that if you go too analytical, it won't work because you know every pattern has its
Yeah.
flaws.
Yeah.
That's what you agree with.
Nice.
Like even if 90% of women behave in some way, there's still 10% of women who don't. Even if that pattern works in so many situations, that those situations it doesn't, and it's almost it's impossible to get every pattern perfectly. So I think at some point you need to, you know, don't go. You don't need to take that too far. You need to know when what patterns to look for and when to look for them. But at some point, you also need to take a step back and like just observe and see where things is going and be willing, to change the perspective. And I
Nice.
think that's I
Cool.
think what I was missing, and I think what a bit frustrated me with your initial video, and like you started, I didn't put the audio on, so I didn't really know what you were saying, but I saw you started with the whole mute get video. I I think your content is completely cringe. So and then you did Andrew Tate, which is like, he's
All
like
right.
the most fake
All
macho
right.
in the whole manosphere.
All right.
So
Well,
like,
first of all, John, you just said you didn't listen to a
yeah,
word I said.
I was in a bad mood, and I was irritated by your title of your video. I was irritated by the name of your video. I was irritated by how you started your video. So I was like, I'm not going to waste any time. So I was
Okay.
just going on a rant, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? It
Yeah.
was, okay. Normally I don't do that. Normally I don't comment on things I don't watch. But
Yeah.
there was just certain
It's
things
cool,
that
man. It's all right. Great. You know what? We're gonna wrap up now. I just want to thank you so much for chatting with me and giving me your perspective. And yeah, I just thought it was great. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about somebody who is red pilled and how they get into it and why and what that type of person's experiences are, why they're drawn to it and all of that. And that's really what I'm interested in, because there's a lot of me reacting to advice that they give, and I could bat down their advice every day just because, again, in my experience, their advice gives the opposite effect of how I've been successful. So I'm more interested in chatting with people like you, and then eventually, yeah, chatting with somebody like Alexander Grace or somebody that teaches red pill, and I could have a good discussion with them. So
I
yeah.
think it's important. But the only thing I've seen here, and ever since the whole COVID thing started, in couple of like 2 years ago, um, the whole lockdowns and everything is surrounding it. Um, one thing effect that it had on people is that it brought people with like with a whole wide range of worldviews together, and like engaging in dialogue, engaging in events that previously not noticed. So there was one event I've been to where it was mind blowing for me. Like you had these at one part you saw these like Rasta wearing like weed smoking hippie like dudes on a like they passed along like some elderly dude with a QAnon shirt. And then you had like on the side you had a bunch of ladies doing yoga. And yeah, like you had like people from all across the political spectrum, and seeking, joining um, forces, trying to find a connection on their shared frustration with how this whole mess was orchestrated. And I think what I'm looking for, and I would actually like to collaborate that with that in one way or another. I'm trying to connect with some people locally here, I would like to get people, I wouldn't call it a think tank, but get people together, like discussing, talking about what's healthy masculinity, what's healthy femininity, what's healthy relationships, and you know, and share different perspectives from different angles. Like one thing, one person I really, really respect is, for example, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Lacey Green.
Really?
What's her name? Lacey Green? You know her?
Let's see. Lacey Green.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sexuality, culture, free thought. Interesting. I'm gonna check out one of her
So
videos.
she was, she was a rather big name in the feminist
Yeah.
like subculture on YouTube. So she had like this sexual education YouTube videos and stuff, but she had also had like feminist oriented content. And at some point, she and Carl Benjamin, better known as Sargon of, they had like this conflict with each other, and which isn't very uncommon in YouTube circles. But at some event, both were present. She walked up to him. She said, you said some nasty things. I don't feel comfortable with it, but let's talk it over.
Yeah.
And he was like, he said he was so shocked that she went up to him and like was the
Yeah.
better woman.
Yeah.
That he apologized to her, and
Mm.
they got friendly with each other. And Lacey Green, ever since, she's been attacked by her former feminist allies for
Hmm.
for
Interesting.
engaging with the enemy.
Interesting.
Which since then she's only gained tried more to engage with the other side. So she's been on like what's his name, Ruben, blah blah blah, like the gay conservative guy. She's been on this show. She's been on some other like rather conservative shows, while still maintaining her own like rather feminist and liberal point of view. So she didn't change her point of view. She didn't become a conservative. She didn't become anti-feminist. She was still a feminist. Still maintains her worldview, plus or minus a few details. But she was just willing to engage with the enemy,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
engage in dialogue and see like
Yeah.
what do we share, how can we get, and that's what I think we need more.
Yeah, I agree, and I like that you like that because I'm like that as well. I mean, I think it doesn't make sense for people to have radically different viewpoints and then separate each other but attack each other from afar. It makes no sense. To come together and
Exactly.
chat, I think, is the most productive. And I
Exactly.
think that's a great message for us to end there, John. And I want to thank you
Right.
again. We've ran out
No
of
problem.
time. We're about to jump into something called mock dates. Maybe one day, if you watch the podcast again, you'll be able to jump into a mock date and
No problem.
try that out.
If you ever want to do this again, just let me know.
Sure, of course. Yeah, it was great talking to you. Thanks so much, bud. You have a good morning because it's
Yeah.
about 4 something in the morning for you.
It's 4:22. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night. Later, bud. Get some
Have a
sleep.
night.
Get some
Bye-bye.
sleep, boy. All right. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Great. So as you can see, my studio is a bit of a mess. I'm recording the audiobook on video right now for the God pill. It's the new pill that's coming out, guys. Did y'all hear about it? It's not red. It's not black. It's not blue. It's not a color because God is all colors and no colors. And so that's coming out next week. We are going to do mock dates in a bit. We're probably only going to do one tonight. And so, yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom because it's an hour and 15 minutes and I haven't peed and I've been drinking a lot of water. And then we're going to pull in some people for mock dates. And so, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that, right? I'm going to go on. I'll put it on a little break. I'll literally be back in a minute. I'd love to know in the chat what you guys thought of that, conversation. You know, one thing that I can say about John, first of all, great guy, really interesting. But you know what? Actually, I'm going to talk about it when I get back because I got to pee so bad. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, my babies. I'm gonna check out the chat right now. All right, so petition to do mock date episodes. What does that mean, Caleb? I've done mock date episodes, and I'll keep doing them. Your past experiences serve as a reminder what red flag is. Okay, you guys are chatting with each other. Okay, so my thoughts on my chat with John kind of fit what I was thinking. Basically, what happens is John to me is, I would say, and this, I think this is a weird thought I'm having, but is like, he's more suited for the men going their own way, black pill, red pill material, because he's actually been in relationships and he's actually dealt with a lot of struggle. Now, I don't want to minimize children, but a lot of people that are into that stuff don't have relationships, have not had relationships, have not had experiences, and are merely going off of what they're seeing on TikTok and YouTube, may have not have the, you know, don't have the same dating experiences that other people that in their school or job may have had, get frustrated at that, say, why am I not good? Don't actually do anything to change it. Watch these videos to validate their feelings. Whereas John actually has been through a lot. Okay, the other thing is because a lot of what Red Pill talks about has parallels, has similarities to what is actually good advice, it can get muddy and confusing, right? So, as we know, having a sense of purpose is part of being attractive, right? Having a sense of purpose is merely, I want to be giving value to the world. If you're not giving value to the world, you are not going to be confident in yourself because you will not feel fulfilled as a human being on this planet. And that's an attractive trait. Most people are giving value to the world, but it's really, how do we feel fulfilled in the value that we're giving? So, you know, having a job is giving value to the world. Being a mother is giving value to the world. It could be something small, it could be something big. But when you lose a sense of purpose, you lose your fulfillment in life, you lose direction, you lose your happiness, contentment, and in turn, your confidence in yourself and attraction from others. Pretty basic. Now, somebody with a basic understanding of that will misinterpret purpose for oh well, like like really like be really unemotional and be really like assertive and shit. Hold on, I think I fucked up stuff. Is everything good? Yeah, I'm still good. Okay. And they may look similar, right? Another thing is like money. Have lots of money. Well, okay, it can happen that somebody that is very purposeful may get the result of money. A very rough barometer for somebody's strong sense of purpose is how much money they have. That doesn't mean that's true, but a rough barometer. In other words, if you meet somebody and you see that they're rich, it could be that they're rich because they have a very strong sense of purpose. But it could also be that they just inherited a lot of money and they don't do anything with their life. People aren't attracted to money, right? There's no porn of just money falling all over somebody and going like, yeah, I want that, yeah. You don't get attracted to money. But to people that didn't really think about this, research, live life experiences to validate this, they'll go, oh, it's money. And so that's why when somebody watches these videos, they go, that seems to make sense. Money. It's money. That's what women like. They want money. And they're not looking a little bit deeper, right? That is why men, very smart men, John, as you could see, he's a smart guy, can get sucked in because what they're teaching sounds pretty solid. When you keep giving these examples, it's very easy to go, oh, do you see this guy? He has money. Do you see this person? They don't have money. Do you see who has the... And they do that type of stuff because they have their own biases. And then they put that out on videos. People that are watching goes, oh, that makes sense. I see these correlations. And it's actually causation. And we get confused between those things. All right, I'm going to look at what's going on in the chat. So before we move on, and we're going to do mock date right now, this is interesting to me. This is fun. I want to see more. I want to make more videos where I'm chatting with people that are into Red Pill, whether they're teachers or whether they're students. I'm just interested in learning more about them. And as a coach, you know, I saw people in the chat. As a coach, a lot of my job is listening. Because I can't just spew advice without really knowing what the fucking issue is. So a lot of my first time chatting with somebody is listening. I need to know their situation. I need to know what their life is like. And so that's, you know, and John had a lot to say. So that's why that chat went the way that it did. But I have some more people that are students of Red Pill that I'd like to chat with in future episodes. Yeah, so that's going to happen. Listen, I could spend, let me put it this way. I fucking hate talking about this shit. I fucking hate it. You know what wish I could talk about? I wish I could just talk about conversation, happiness, presence. I wish I could talk about flirting, charm, more conversation. You know, how to meet the right, like, I wish I could talk about that all day long. But to me, this is pressing because in my opinion, there needs to be people like me that are going to be able to dismantle Red Pill. I fucking hate it. I hate Red Pill. I hate talking about it. It's so basic and boring, and I guess I get why people see it as like, whoa, my God, my mind is blown. I don't understand. because to me it's the most basic shit in the world. But this is why I want to do this. This is why I'm chatting with these people. I'm sick of watching the videos, man. It's the same thing over and over. All right, so let's get into this shit, boy. Let's do a little maki tepe. So I am going to bring in Shayla, the new queen of the mock days.
Hello.
How you doing? Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, we should be working. Can you talk? Oh, I can't hear you now. See, I'm fucking up. I gotta fix this. 1 second. 1 second. Can you talk again?
Hello.
Perfect. We're good. We're all good. Hey, before I throw you in the mock day, I just would love to. First of all, holy shit, Hawaiian shirt, killing it, dude. It's fucking great.
Thank you.
Second, I'd love to know, did you watch the chat I had with John?
Yes.
I'd love to know what your thoughts are about that.
Well, it's kind of hard to like figure out what he was saying because he kind of jumped back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
Some of his points were good, but some of them just weren't me. So
yeah, makes sense. All right, we're gonna bring in somebody. It looks like a lot of people jumped out, but I am gonna bring in Matthias.
yeah.
All right, so you know Matthias, Shayla?
Oh, I've watched him in mock takes before.
Got it. Okay. All right, and there he is. Whoa, Matthias, did you go to sleep at all? Have you slept tonight?
Dude, I've been staying up all night.
Waiting for this moment. It is literally daytime where you are.
Yeah, it's actually like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So better be happy, Anthony.
Oh, I'm very happy. And also, you are also having a drippy fit. Shirt's looking dope. I don't know what holding absence is, but I love the hat too. Little Peaky Blinders vibes going on. All right, you guys excited to go on a mock date with each other?
Oh, I am.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Shayla, damn, of course. She's fucking ready, baby. Okay, cool. So you know the rules. Everybody that's watching for the first time, this is a fake date. It's so we could practice our social skills, really. In other words, it's not supposed to be a great performance. It's supposed to be a stupid, silly, crappy performance. We're here to just have fun, mess up, and if, you know, like, don't worry about doing well is all I'm saying. But you know what ends up happening is everybody does well anyway, so it's all cool. Cool. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna put you guys on a date. I'm gonna set you guys up. Maybe if anybody in the live chat wants to give me an idea of, you know, where I could put them on a date. But if nobody says anything fast enough, I'm gonna say you guys are at a cereal factory tour. So you're kind of just, you know, I thought, you know, General Mills was a great place to start. They have a great tour in their factory, so you could see how the cereal's made, y'all. Ben said wine date. Sorry, Ben, I'm a freaky dude. So yeah, that's it. Just have fun, have a conversation, and remember, you're on a date. So this is a real date, make believe. Okay? Take it away, y'all. Bye-bye.
Shayla. Oh my God, this is our first time doing a mock date. What a pleasure.
What a pleasure it is.
You know what? I love your Hawaiian shirt. Like, oh my God, it looks good on you, girl. Wow.
Thank you.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm a bit sleepy and a little bit cold, but I think you're gonna make me forget about that stuff because last time I saw you on, you were just on fire. Like that song, "This Girl Is on Fire." I think that was about you because I'm just gonna enjoy this basically. Oh God! So how's your day been?
It's been long. I'm glad I'm at the cereal factory.
Oh yeah, cereal factory. So do you have any like favorite flavors that you like when it comes to cereal?
So one of my favorites is the Reese's Puffs, and then also the Fruity Pebbles because I'm a little bit fruity.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that with your Hawaiian shirt. That makes total sense. Awesome. Yeah, well, I've never been quite into cereals for some reason. I'm very plain. I'm a very plain guy. But I guess if I had like, is there any cereals with any like peanut butter flavor or something like that?
Peanut butter flavor? Yeah, the Reese's Puffs.
Oh my God. Have you ever tasted them?
Yes,
Oh, are they good?
they're very good. They're
Damn.
so Reese's is my favorite candy. So whenever they made the
Uh-huh.
Reese's cereal, of course, I'm jumping in.
Of course. That's awesome. Yeah, there's actually we have a grocery store called Meny here in Norway, and they sell these Reese's peanut butter cups. And me and Liam, we tried them once, and I gotta say, like, usually I don't like sweets at all. Like, it's just not my thing. But the Reese's peanut butter cups, oh God, I was like, for a second I thought I would lost my song because I was like in heaven for like a few moments. Like, holy crap, that stuff is good.
Yeah, it tastes better than weed. So
I guess. Oh God, I mean, wheat is so. I mean, I literally I love porridge oats or whatever you guys call it. I think it's called porridge oats, isn't it?
one more time.
Porridge oats. Is that what you guys call it?
I have no idea.
Or or oats maybe? Just oats.
Oaks, possibly. I don't
Oh,
know.
ah, yeah. Well, food. I mean, don't we all love food? I mean, it's some of the best things in the world. But how do you like? Because we haven't been on a mock date before, so I'm curious. Like, what do you do in your free time? Like, is there anything special that you like doing just to make your day even better?
um, so what I love to do is
Uh huh.
um just hang around with family and friends, and then on the special occasions go race car driving and race karts driving, and I like to go fast. So
That's awesome. Driving
what do you
fast is
do?
kind of fun. Well, I've recently started playing guitar again, so I have um, been hanging up my guitar. So this is a new one that I recently purchased.
Oh, that's a
I'm really,
beauty.
yeah, thanks. I'm really happy about it. I've actually learned a few songs after I bought this guitar. So I'm, of course, a metalhead. So I've been learning a few songs from Slipknot and Parkway Drive, and yeah, that's about it. But yeah, so I actually love it, and I've also been making some riffs on my own, just because I mean, I just love playing on the guitar, but I had to send the amplifier to what's it called again, to the workshop because there's something wrong about it. So I haven't been able to play on it for a while. And yeah, and I've been watching some movies, and I recently saw The Black Phone. By the way, have you seen that movie?
I have not.
Oh, you should see it. It is actually really good.
Um, So since you play guitar,
Mhm.
I play the drums. We can totally make a band.
We absolutely could do it. That would be so fun. That would be so cool. Have you been playing drums for a long time?
So my dad plays the drums, and he taught me and my little sister how to play it whenever I was 8 and she was 4. So
Oh. So have you learned, like, do you just play for fun or have you learned any song or something?
usually I play for fun, but my dad has taught me a couple of AC/DC songs, and um, the first song that I learned on the drums was Georgia the Jungle. Well,
Oh, is that George in the Jungle? Is I think I just confused George in the Jungle with Tarzan, or is that the same thing?
it's a little different, but it's like
Oh,
it goes
wait.
George, Georgia of the Jungle, fast as you
Oh,
can be.
yeah, right. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Continue.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, it actually sounds familiar when you sung that song. Because that actor, isn't that the guy who played in The Mummy or something?
Mhm. I'm not 100% sure.
Because I don't think I've seen him in any movies lately, like for the past 2 years, maybe. No, I mean past 2 decades or something.
It's kind of an oldie, I want to say.
Oh, I is it a Disney movie or is it like a standalone movie?
Oh, I don't think it's a Disney movie.
Oh,
Oh no, but all I could think about is this guy with long hair, and
uh-huh.
he has like um this strap down here that is all leopardy. So
Oh, that sounds awesome. Like he has his own drip basically. I guess that's the right word. Like drip, is that like if you got like your own unique and cool style or something?
yeah, that's what drip is.
Oh, like I get so confused, like, because I feel like you guys have so many different words for like everything. So like drip, and then there's like dapper. Because I've heard some guy called like you look like a guy from a dapper street or something. Is that something you're familiar with?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I know that you have drip right now because you look awesome in that shirt. So, I mean, we're basically both in the same boat of our own unique style.
Oh yeah. Like right now I'm digging your hat. I love your hat.
Oh, you just made my heart pump even better. I mean, you just made my heart warmer. That's what I meant to say. Thank you. That was such a nice compliment. It's so awesome, though. I mean, because isn't this the second time you've been on the Betas podcast, like on the Zoom?
Yes, I went last Thursday.
Yeah. Oh wow. Um, have you seen The Walking Dead before?
Um so I don't like scary movies. I know Walking Dead isn't scary,
Uh huh.
but to me, like some of the music, like I've heard a couple of episodes, and some of the music that's in there, it's like, nah.
Oh, it's off-putting to you, I guess. Yeah. Because what was his name again? Do you remember his name?
The guy that I went on the
Yeah.
mock
Yeah.
date,
Yeah.
I think it's Ben. Is it? Oh no. God.
I don't remember his name. That's why I had to ask you.
I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. It's gonna beat me up if I did.
All right, guys, let's actually take a
you-
break right here, y'all. Doing a great job. I want to give you a exercise. We're just going to do a threading exercise for the next 5 minutes. Have you guys watched the conversation class I have on Skillshare?
Yeah, it's a long
I
time
have
ago,
not.
though.
All right. So very quickly, I'm going to just teach you threading, which is a great conversational skill, and it keeps things like moving along really nicely and helps you to get a wide understanding of a person in a short period of time. Basically, you're just jumping from topic to topic. But you want to make sure that when you're on each topic, you're only doing one thing, which is expressing yourself about that topic. So how you feel about it, what you think about it, basically that's it. And then the other person does the exact same thing. They talk about what they feel, what they think of that topic. And then you want to jump to the next topic. Now, how do you do that? You know, there seems to be no segue. Well, you create a segue by having visual associations with the topic that you already are on. So in your head, you want to go, oh, well, talking about mock dates makes me think of the song mock yeah. So now we're already on music. So it's the next thing. Or you could say mock dates makes me think of mock trial. And, you know, in high school, I did mock trial where you act like you're lawyers and you know, do a case against each other or whatever. So when you have a topic, you're naturally going to be thinking of a couple other topics that pop up that are parallel to that topic, or they could even be completely different, but just remind you of the topic. And that's a great way to go from topic to topic. Now, how you go to the next topic, you could either say, speaking of that, this makes me think of this. So mock dates makes me think of mock trial. And so a great way to practice threading is to say, that makes me think of this. And then you get into that topic. You could ask a question about how that person feels about the topic, or you could express yourself. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, because I was about to tell Shayla that the guy that she was on with last Tuesday, he reminded me of the actor from The Walking Dead.
Ooh, there you go. A little thread right there. So another thing I want to make sure that you guys do is I'm going to time you, actually. So I want each topic to be only 2 minutes. And I'm gonna get out a timer right now. And remember, this is for exercise sake. All right, hold on. See that? All right, kiddies. I'm gonna hit.
I might not be as good as on this one as I was the lying one.
Oh, no worries. Remember, it's all practice. It's all fun. All right, get started, everybody. Go.
Okay, so I was about to say that he reminded me of the actor from The Walking Dead. But what's your favorite comedy movie?
Oh, comedy movie. It's not really a comedy movie. But I guess Legally Blonde. I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know. That was like
movie.
That's the first thing that came into my head. Or Ted. Ted was.
Oh, Ted.
Ted was funny.
That movie is actually hilarious. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. I think it's fun. I mean, it's kind of like a very mature movie. Like I feel like you have to be very mature to see it. If you don't, I feel like you're gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Because like Ted, he smokes, he That's pretty. He has somewhat of a foul language, and yeah, I actually like that movie a lot. Is that your like one of your favorites?
I want to say it's one of my favorites, but it definitely gets me laughing. So,
Oh, laughing is one of the best things in life, don't you agree?
yes.
Oh, tell me about the last time you laughed so hard you actually had no idea what to do.
So, the last time I laughed so hard was actually today.
Oh,
Um, we were talking about one of the dogs that we have.
uh-huh.
And
So just so everyone knows,
so he was laying on his back,
they can't
like
hear me.
twisted
The
up
2 minutes is up,
everything,
but they
and his
already
teeth
changed
was
topics,
out.
so I'm not going to tell them.
And I was telling one of my coworkers that it reminded me of my grandpa.
What?
my grand my grandpa sleeps so weird, and I just died laughing. I almost peed my pants.
That's actually really hilarious. Like, I mean, just the fact that you looked at the dog and like said, that reminds me of my grandpa. That would be like, what? Really? Oh God, that's hilarious. Oh gee. So like the dog was just laying there like that, and it just reminded you of your grandpa. Wow. Okay, so the last time I laughed so hard. Um, it's kind of embarrassing because I don't remember it because I laugh all the time, pretty much. So, I mean,
Same.
I can just look at myself in the mirror and be like, "You look funny today," and then I can burst out laughing. Oh, so um, when you go out to swim or to the beach, what is the number one thing you would like to do?
So usually I don't go to the beach just
Okay.
because I turn red as a lobster.
Oh wow.
So
What? Why? Like, do
um,
you get sunburns?
I'm white. I'm completely white. The whitest person you'll ever meet. So but I guess like one of my favorite things is at nighttime we go look for these shrimp or something that's in the little crab thingies that's in the sand. And so we do that.
So you're kind of a night person, I guess?
Yes, I am definitely a night owl. Yes.
Night owl, that's the word. Correct, correct. Well, I guess I can say the same.
That's
So
like
what's your sorry?
good, good, good.
So what would you say is your favorite thing about being a night owl? Like, why do you enjoy it so much?
It's just because I'm alone. It's just me and my
Hmm.
thoughts, and I can have fun whenever
Uh-huh.
I can. And um, and then one thing about it is the sun's not up, so I don't get sunburned.
Oh, I can definitely agree. I mean, I can second that. I think it's the right word, because one of the reasons why I like staying up late is simply because like there's no one that can talk to me or bother me if I want to like watch something or do something. And like you said, you can be alone with yourself and like just stay. I mean, you can think about stuff and not have anyone disturb you. Like it's just something about like the moments or the
Hmm.
minutes you get alone with yourself. That's amazing. And I also tend to get a lot of things done during the night for some reason.
Yes, you do actually, and it's calming. I'm a calm person, so
Hmm. Yeah, I can I I get that vibe from you right now because you look and feel very calm. Like Am I onto something now?
Yeah, I am a very calm person until you get me on the dance floor, and then
So I guess you are like a dancing queen. Like you can just go absolutely crazy on the floor, I guess, or I assume.
as much as a white person can, unless I'm like with a partner doing like ballroom or something, that I am. But like freestyle, this is the best move you're gonna get on it.
Okay, okay, I'm down. I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. That's fun though. Like, I mean, that's the best part about like dancing with friends or like with some, maybe you're on a date with someone and you can just feel like the vibe is correct and you just click with them. And then just going on the floor and having fun while not having to think about like, am I moving? Am I doing the right moves? Just having fun. That's the best thing.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, I just can't I just can't get over the fact like we just danced on camera for the whole world to see for a brief moment. That's awesome. Like Shayla, have fun. That's awesome. Oh yeah, you did the whole okay. I missed out.
But once you're
So
comfortable in your own skin, even on a date and stuff, you can
mhm.
just be yourself, and so just be confident.
Yes. I that was music to my ears, literally. That was so good to hear because I mean when you're on a date with someone and you just click with them and you got the confidence, like you both just lift each other up. I mean, that's got to be the best thing because you basically are just being insanely good friends, if that's in the right word, insanely good friends with the guy or girl you're hanging out with, or if it's the same gender, it doesn't even matter. But that's just amazing, simply because when you don't have to think about what you're about to say and you know that the person you're with can laugh with you or agree with you or disagree, like you can actually be friends and have
Mhm.
different viewpoints. That's, oh, I love that. And that's basically the vibe I'm getting from you because you seem like such an authentic person. And I love people like you, Shayla. That's amazing.
Well, you're you are one of those people that it's easy to talk to. You're always fun, and so I love that. So
Oh, you made me blush, Shayla. That's so sweet of you.
Oh,
I wish I could hug you right now.
me too.
oh, all right. That's a great place to stop, guys. Awesome. Damn. Once again,
Yeah.
another great freaking mock date here. I'd love to know, Matthias, what are your thoughts? How did it go for you?
It went well until Anthony just came in the room and interrupted us. No, I think it was great. And I also feel like I actually felt really calm with Shayla. And I, I, I really enjoyed her company. I felt like I actually was talking with a friend,
Hmm.
which is something I didn't expect. So
Mm.
thank you, Shayla. I really appreciate that.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
And Sayla, what about you? How'd it go for you?
It went really well, I think. He's such a good communicator that conversation with him just flowed. So
Damn.
I love that.
Oh, that's so great. Cool. Guys, we are coming up on 2 hours. So we're gonna have to cut this, well, not short, but we're gonna have to end the stream right about now. But once again,
No.
guys, you are the people that make the podcast work. We don't have mock dates without you, okay? Shayla, big ups for jumping in the Zoom, and
Mhm.
going on a date with somebody. Really appreciate that. any other women or even non-binary people that are watching, we need people. We need people in the Zoom for mock dates to keep them fun, keep them fresh. Yeah, that's about it. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on. I hope to see you next Tuesday when we have another episode. Maybe you'll be on another mock date, even together, actually. Yeah.
Bring the wine.
Hey, I'm flying to Norway this weekend. So
Oh, okay, I'm ready. Chill. Let's do this. Oh, come on, girl.
All right. All right, you guys have a good night.
you as well.
You too.
Bye. Okay. Damn, what another great episode, everybody. Yeah. So I have some stuff I want to update y'all on. So, members, beta members, we're all in the Discord. We're gonna plan a nice group video chat, hang out with each other. I'd like to do it like once a week, hopefully. But since everybody has a crazy schedule, I had everybody, go on this website and click their availabilities. This is a cool website. And so it looks like the best time for me as well as everybody else is right around here, which is, hold on, let me zoomy doom, which is at 9 p.m. on Sunday. Or I'm sorry, not 9 p.m. Sorry. 7, like about 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on Sunday. That's PT. So it seems like most people are down with 8 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. And I'm guessing people on the East Coast of America, that's 11, and that's when it's okay. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. If you're not a member, it's only $5 a month. It's like 16 cents a day. It helps support the channel. Holy shit! Shayla just donated $10 to the stream. She's an amazing person. This is the second time she donated, and it really does help. Okay, it helps me build this studio out to make it better, because I'm going to be having a lot of people on the stream in person, interviewing them. A big thing for me is I like talking to people. Like, I'm a social coach. I love people. I love talking to people. I love conversation. And that's what I want to do a lot. And so I want to bring on different influencers, different kinds of people, and chat with them about their dating lives, coach them, get real perspectives from real people. And so that's why I'm setting this place up. I'd like to get eventually like one of those neon betas logos in the background, like make it look good. You know what I'm saying? So, I really appreciate so much. Even if you super chat $1, it's still meaningful to me. But Shayla has just this week like donated $30 already. It's crazy. It's so amazing. I appreciate you so much, Shayla. Thank you so much. And yeah, so I expect to see all of our Discorders, our beta members, this Sunday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That is when the most people are able to be there. Let's go back to the chat for me so I can read it. Matthias, I want to make betas merch. It's just, there's not enough people to really make that make sense. I can make betas merch for like 5 people. That's fine with me, but I guess maybe that's fine with me. I don't know. But in other news, the God Pill is coming out next week. Wink. But the audiobook is almost done. There's going to be a video book. And yeah. So it's going to be a video of me reading the book to you, as well as an audiobook, as well as a paperback, as well as a hardcover, as well as an ebook. I'm working very hard on it. I can't wait till it's out. It is going to crush Red Pill stuff. That's right. Yeah. show. I want to thank everybody for being here. You guys make this show. So the fact that everyone's in the live chat. By the way, another thing is live chat is heavier, is more yummy than it's ever been. In this past month, July, live chat has been crazy, and it makes me so happy because, again, I just want to interact with you guys. So to see everybody's chatting it up, I'm reading even if I'm not responding. So I'm reading everything. You know, during like the interview with John tonight, I was looking at the live chat the whole time. Near May, technically I've been working on Godpill since I was, 24 years old. So 14 years, but writing the book, I wrote part of it a few years ago, and I finished up the second half of it in the past couple months. I don't know. Anyway, it'll be out next week, 100%. I'm making sure, I'm saying it, I'm putting it out to the world so I actually do finish it and get it out. I'm so excited for you guys to get it. The audiobook especially is going to be so great. I'm like, use my like sexy. So, when you're the God pill stuff, this is what you're going to hear. Yes, very bassy voice. So that's going to be good. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I was reading it on video today, like as I was recording it. And I was like, damn, this is a good book. I was like, this is really fucking good. Yeah. So guys, love you all. So happy you're here. I haven't seen Grizzly 1092, I don't think in a while. So I see Grizzly tonight and I appreciate that. And I just want to say goodnight to all of my beta members that are here. Shayla, Daniela, Ben, Matthias, I haven't seen in a while. Also Grizzly. Let's see who else, if there's any other members that are here. Here, I'm going to make it look like I'm actually looking at it. Watch this. There. Now I'm actually looking at it. I just moved the window for myself. Michelle. Damn, Michelle's here. Let's see who else. Am I missing anybody? Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. You make the show. I love you much. Love you a long time. And yeah, let's talk in the Discord. And if anybody has any like ideas for the show, or like for instance, I'm thinking about making mock dates a little bit more structured, more game based, keep them more exciting, fast paced, fun. Let me know in the Discord. Let's chat about it. Also, the other cool thing about the Discord is we're like putting our lives in there. It's like little updates on each other, like Raul is posting like videos of him at like dance parties and stuff, and him dancing up a storm with different people. Daniela just posted a dope picture of herself in the Discord that I just saw, and then I responded with what I thought was quite clever. Damn, Yella. Maybe not to her, but to me that was really clever and funny, so that's why I said it. Yeah, that's about it, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you on Tuesday. La 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 la.